NFL players are great athletes and entertain us week after week with their athleticism and their strategies, but not all of them have the same level of thinking when it comes to spending all the money they make. Today, we take a look at NFL players that have spent their money on the dumbest things. Enjoy the video. Antonio Garay, Hello Kitty smart car. NFL star Antonio Garay did not spend his hard-earned money on a Porsche or a Ferrari, as is customary for athletes who indulge in luxury transportation. According to reports, the defensive tackle is driving around in a smart car that is decorated with Hello Kitty decals. According to Motor Trend, the cost of a full-body Hello Kitty wrap starts at $1,700 and goes up from there. Okay, since this is a smart car, maybe it is not one of the dumbest purchases ever, but it is definitely unusual. Andre Rison, $1 million jewelry. Andre Rison declared personal bankruptcy in 2007. In the end, it was child support that was the straw that broke the camel's back, but he was also a victim of the money-hungry demons that have doomed so many other athletes. Indulgence and flash, both of which devoured his savings. In a 2012 documentary, Rison admitted to ESPN that he had spent at least $1 million on jewelry alone over his lifetime. He spent tens of thousands of dollars more on automobiles in an attempt to stay up with his teammates, who were involved in a never-ending competition to see who could buy the most expensive luxury vehicle. The culture of competition spending extended to high-end nightclubs, where he frequented on a regular basis, bringing tens of thousands of dollars in cash to stuff his pockets. Last but not least, there were the paternity suits. Darnell Dockett's zoo. I'm out here messing with these gators in the Everglades, Darnell Dockett tweets while aimlessly wandering in the state of Florida. This jerk came close to biting me. Despite the fact that he admits he came close to losing his hand to a reactive chomp, the Arizona Cardinals lineman purchased an alligator for $500 and named him Nino after the alligator that nearly killed him. Later, he bought a second alligator called Honey. Hopefully, Dockett has a large spread in Florida, because otherwise, quarters might get a little crowded on the road to the Super Bowl. According to an interview with Fox Sports 910 Phoenix, he has claimed ownership of a tiger cub and apparently sought to purchase a $30,000 monkey in the last year. The tiger, whose name Dockett revealed in the interview is Lil Buddy, was mentioned as a possible visitor to Cardinals training camp last season, but he did not appear, just like Nino did in 2011. This one isn't going to end well in our opinion. Terrell Owens, Bingo Hall. Terrell Owens is a tough character who is far more than he appears on the surface. He was energetic on the football field, and he was well known for his often over-the-top touchdown celebrations. That was all fine with the fans, who adored him since he was able to back up those exuberant celebrations with outstanding performances on the field. He was also larger than life away from the football field. He lived life to the fullest and would almost certainly be doing so right now if bankruptcy hadn't gotten the better of him, and indulged in extravagant spending, blowing his millions on truly ludicrous things. An entertainment complex which featured a bingo hall was one of the things he thought would be a good idea to purchase, which was not the wisest of options for someone who was still an active NFL player but wasn't authorized to invest in gambling at the time. Second, he failed to display adequate due diligence before investing millions of dollars in the complex. A number of aspects of the project did not comply with Alabama laws and regulations, which is why the project never got off the ground and the entire investment was a failure from the start. Truly a dumb purchase if there ever was one. Dez Bryant, too much jewelry. Dez Bryant is a 32-year-old wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys who plays in the National Football League. In 2017, it was reported that his base pay was $13 million. When Bryant was still a rookie in the NFL and with the Cowboys, he rapidly earned a reputation for being a shrewd money manager. In 2011, Bryant was sued by a jeweler for unpaid jewelry in the amount of $200,000 that he owed. Only a few days later, he was sued again, this time for more jewelry, for a total of $800,000 in jewelry that had not been paid for. Now fast forward 5 years to 2016, and Dez Bryant has been caught on camera spending much more money on jewelry. He spent $200,000 on new, unique jewelry to commemorate another year as a Cowboys player and to mark the occasion of his signing with the team. Many believe that the Cowboys, or any other team, cannot afford Dez Bryant's high-priced salary anymore, as he was no longer playing like the great player he was at the start of his NFL career in 2017. Vince Young purchased 120 tickets for one flight. It's fair to say that Vince Young has had one of the more dismal NFL careers. His NFL quarterback career has been a tremendous disappointment because he was once considered a top prospect for the Texas Longhorns. In spite of this, his rookie contract with the Tennessee Titans provided him with a $26 million payday. Vince, like the majority of young foolish players, blew away his millions without a second thought. When he needed to go from Houston to Nashville in 2007, it was stated that he wanted to have as much privacy as possible during the journey. As a result, he did what any other 24-year-old millionaire would do. He purchased 120 tickets on a Southwest Airlines aircraft to Los Angeles. According to estimates, he paid upwards of $22,000 for a 2-hour flight, and now he's in financial trouble. Chris Johnson, gold teeth. Chris Johnson is well known for two things. First, for being a brilliant running back for the Arizona Cardinals, and second, for having a gold-filled smile. In a 2015 interview with with his team's website, he stated that his idols all had gold teeth while he was growing up. During his 12th grade year, he made the decision to follow in their footsteps for an undisclosed quantity of money. While the Titans were traveling from their hotel in the Canton, Ohio region to Fawcett Stadium to play the Bills in the 2009 Hall of Fame game, Johnson was believed to have missed his regular team transportation. Why? He then tweeted that he had forgotten his gold teeth and that he needed to go back and collect them. He did, however, make it to the team's 4:45 p.m. bus and plenty of time to suit up and take the field for the Titans in the Hall of Fame game. Are the teeth worth it when you do not even know when you're not wearing them? Michael Vick, dog slaughterhouse. This one is out of this world bizarre. We've grown accustomed to hearing about sportsmen squandering their salary on things like jewelry, expensive cars, and mansions, among other things. Then there's the dog slaughterhouse. That's a brand new concept. Michael Vick has just recently announced his retirement from the National Football League, but he must be quite grateful that he was able to do so on his own terms. He managed to squeeze in 5 more years of NFL activity than he anticipated, despite the fact that his career was all but over when he retired in 2007. It was determined that he was involved in a dogfighting ring, which was of course illegal, and that he had been responsible for the financial support of the organization. A canine slaughterhouse run by him was raided by the authorities, who discovered dogs that had been abused, tormented, and kept in appalling conditions, not to mention drugs and a gambling ring. He was charged with animal cruelty and cruelty to animals. Vick was financially crippled as a result of his legal bills and subsequent prison sentence, which are estimated to have cost him in the region of $130 million. Clinton Portis bought a casino that went bust. Clinton Portis was a rugged and productive running back who spent his 9-year NFL career with the Denver Broncos and the Washington Redskins. He collected almost 6,000 yards in his first 4 seasons and nearly 12,000 yards in his last season before retiring in 2010. During his illustrious NFL career, he was selected to 2 Pro Bowls and scored 80 touchdowns. Over the course of his career, he earned more than $43.1 million in pay from the NFL alone. In the opinion of Sports Illustrated, Portis was guilty of the classic NFL sin of making bad investments and placing his faith in the wrong people. But these were people in whom he had every reason to put his faith. Jeff Rubin and Yanesh Brahmat were financial advisors who were registered with the NFL Players Association. However, they were unscrupulous dealers who later met their own demise after conducting schemes that bilked trusting and unsophisticated investors out of their hard-earned money. Another was Portis, who lost $3.1 million after being persuaded to invest in an Alabama casino that went bankrupt as a result of their efforts. A few $1,000,000 more went to the Internal Revenue Service, domestic support for various women, debts to casinos, and even debts to his own mother. With that, we have come to the end of this video. Which purchase is the most ludicrous in your opinion? Did we leave any noteworthy ones out?